certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
A lot of clouds today, Jamie. It looked like it was going to rain for most of the day, but looks like any rain that we're getting is pretty sparse.
Yeah, very isolated, but there are a few isolated showers and thunderstorms out there this afternoon. Lots of leftover clouds over southern Missouri. Certainly had a big impact on temperatures. It really felt pretty good all day long. Meanwhile, areas to the north and south of that area of cloud cover getting into the 80s, and it's more humid today. Now, getting back to radar, what we find is there's not a lot to hang your hat on, but we've got these pockets of shower and thunderstorm activity. We've got one here in southern parts of Dallas County, kind of stretched there between Highway 65 and Charity, and that will continue to build off toward the east-southeast. We're getting some heavy rainfall. This has persisted a while, along with some lightning strikes. Off to the west, we've got an isolated thunderstorm which has popped up over Stockton Lake. That one too drifting off to the east-southeast. Anything that does manage to pop up is going to be capable of producing locally heavy rainfall, maybe gusty winds, along with lightning. I wanted to show you this because having grown up in Mississippi, it's unusual to see this kind of severe weather outbreak. This is more of a spring severe weather outbreak, but it's happening in the middle of June. Typically, we find this kind of severe weather more north of this location, maybe from the Ohio Valley back into the Midwest. Certainly, we would be in line for that risk, but that's not the case with the pattern that we've got in place across the U.S. right now. A lot of the reason why we've got this severe weather risk is there's a lot more wind energy kind of cutting across the southern plains and the deep south at this moment. And it's enough wind energy to generate a risk of tornadoes with some of these storms across Georgia. We've also had the risk of wind and hail with storms across Alabama, Mississippi, stretching back into Arkansas and Texas. In particular, there's been a severe storm to the southwest of the Little Rock area that's looks like it's been a hailer this afternoon, for at least for the last couple of hours or so. Looking at conditions locally, again, pretty quiet, but you can see this lingering band of cloud cover right there. That's where we have a leftover storm swirl, meaning we had storms that developed off to the west, and then they generated a little eddy in the atmosphere, which also not only helps to keep those clouds in play, but can also instigate additional shower and thunderstorm activity, and that's what we found this afternoon. It's been isolated in nature, but we've got some isolated shower and thunderstorm this afternoon across parts of Missouri. And I think that risk for some shower and thunderstorm activity is going to linger near and south of the state line overnight tonight before moving out before sunrise. Now, tomorrow looks to be a quiet day across the area with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies expected. Not as cool overnight tonight, but still pleasant. About 60 for low in Springfield with highs tomorrow. I think generally in the mid to upper 80s. Looks like about 86 for a high with winds again light out of the west-northwest. Now the pattern is going to be shifting. The storm track, which for much of this week has been to our south, is going to shift to the north as this summer ridge builds north across Texas. And that's going to push that zone of active weather into the Ozarks, and the result will be the risk of episodes of strong to severe storms. I think on Friday most of that risk is to our south, but then as we work into the upcoming weekend, particularly Saturday night and then again on Sunday, we're going to be more in line for some of these thunderstorms to be strong to severe with maybe some hail or wind. So we're going to have to watch for that. Temperatures also being impacted by that risk of rain through the weekend. Looks like generally mid to upper 80s, although cooler on Sunday with low to mid 80s. And then next week things try to dry out and heat up. Bailey?
All right, Jamie.